Hi, welcome back. The word I would use to describe today's episode is ironic, because what I'm about to tell you in my update is certainly not going to align with the type of thinking I've got for my main episode. Okay? You'll see, and this is all going to make sense, but on the flip, it ties in beautifully. Absolutely beautifully. This is going to be amazing. I am going to be a little more vulnerable than I think I've ever really been online or anywhere else. But I know I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. When I'm talking about people on here, people in my life, I don't have malicious intent. In order for me to be authentic and be real, I have to be able to talk about my life. And it's never with the intention of, putting someone on blast or exposing people. Like, it's just not that. I just never want to give the impression that I have it all figured out. It's just not the case. And I know I try to be a tough guy on here, but it's also important to show when, I'm spiraling. Because we all do it. We're all human. We're having a human experience. And in my opinion, I think we need more of it in the world where people are just like being real and opening up. I'm an open book, and other people can choose to keep their lives extra private. I'm making a choice to be open with everyone and share what's going on in my life in hopes of helping somebody out there. Again, there's no malicious intent, but yeah. This sounds like I'm getting ready to tell you I killed somebody. I didn't. This isn't that deep, okay? You have nothing to worry about here, okay? But come on this ride with me. So, as you guys know, things have been picking up pace with Brooklyn. And that's all that means. It doesn't mean I'm official. Let's slow it down. It just means that things have been continuing, progressing. Where this is heading, I have no fucking idea. And it's around this point that I personally really struggle. I know I preach on here all these different concepts about assuming the state and living in the end and being this, tough guy, but that's not always the case. It's important to know that you can waver and still manifest great things in your life. You can still have bad days and manifest miracles, okay? So let's start there. At this point, this is right where they get me. It's really tricky, this part. So with Brooklyn, he had been away for a month, okay? And at the time that I was filming those episodes that you've now seen, that was before he left. And then he left, and I was like, let's see where this goes. It could be really hit or miss. This could just be the end of it, and we could go back to this weird cycle that we have where we pretend like we never met each other and move on with our lives, or this could bring us closer together. And in my opinion, it brought us closer together. Something shifted the last 2 times that we hung out, and I just was like, I really don't want this thing to die off. I really don't want to have to meet new people and start over again and do the whole thing. It really was all super exhausting. I made the decision to kind of initiate the pace, set the pace. You kind of have to show people sometimes what you want. And that's what I did. I'll text him and I'll give him a call. And let's see if he picks up on what I'm putting down here. And he did. We would talk on the phone for hours. And what was great was we were really excited to see each other when this was all over. Internally, I was so excited for him to come back. I kept it very, as you guys know, but I was very excited, truly counting down the days. I was daydreaming about the day he would come back. That's what was going on up here. Yeah. Yikes. In the week leading up to him coming home, he had made a comment of I need to see you the second I get back. I was like, oh, really? I think I was so in shock. I was like, oh, really? I don't even know why I said that, but whatever. And I had offered to pick him up from the airport. Yeah, you know what? Whatever. I'm the type of girl to offer to pick you up from the airport. That's who I am. I will be there no matter what. I'm reliable. He was like, that would be great. Keep in mind, leading up to this, I'm just fantasizing about how amazing it would be to pick him up from the airport. I don't know why. He calls me and he's like, I booked my flight. And I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, well, so are you gonna pick me up still? Does the offer still stand? And I was like, oh, you want me to pick you up? Oh my God, okay, yeah, I could totally do that. That's something I could totally do. Let me just, check the time. I literally glitched. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, let me just check my schedule. Okay. fucking loser. Now at this point, I go into overdrive, preparing for the airport pickup, okay? You have no idea. I scheduled minute by minute how I would be spending my time in the 48 hours leading up to this airport pickup. Now I know this seems like a simple task, but for me, I could not wait. I have not been this excited in so long for anything. Okay? And it's cute, like whatever. I don't have to like beat myself up about it. But like, yeah, I'm being vulnerable here. It's fucking scary, but I'm doing it. In preparation for this airport pickup, I got a spray tan. I got my haircut, the pedicure, the nails. I went shopping, made sure I had the perfect outfit. I ordered a $500 lingerie set. I mean, this thing looked like it was something from a sex dungeon in Berlin. Like, it was crazy. I wanted him to see me looking hot, being like, whoa. I wanted to blow the guy's socks off. Okay, now we're approaching 24 hours. I'm like, okay, what else can I do to make it special? Let me go get him some snacks so that he has something in the car because he's gonna be so tired from that flight. That flight sucks. Like, let me just make sure everything is perfect. The night before, it's safe to say that I didn't sleep. Not a wink. I was so excited, staring at the ceiling, counting down the hours, minutes, and then it's go time. I wake up 7 a.m., ready to rock and roll. I wanted to be so perfectly on time. He texts me that his flight is ahead of schedule. Okay. Very rarely have I heard of this happening. I knew it happens, but historically, I've only been on flights that are wildly delayed. But this man gets on a rocket ship back here and he's ahead of schedule. So I'm like, okay, it's no big deal. I've got this. I'm just gonna shift my schedule forward. Let's do this thing and let's go. So I get in the car. I can't stop smiling. I'm laughing to myself. I'm giddy. Okay. I am absolutely giddy. And this was like an hour drive for me, hour and a half, but I was so happy. I was like, woohoo, I can't wait to go see him. This is great. And then as I was like 15 minutes away, I started to panic. I got so nervous. I was like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I say? How do I look at him? Like, how am I gonna look at him when I'm driving and I gotta focus on the road? This is how my mind was racing. I know, I'm sharing all this because I know this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. So of course, I pull up, the traffic guy is freaking yelling at me that I can't wait, like you gotta keep it moving. I was so nervous. I just couldn't really like relax. Like here he was in my car. I had been waiting to see him all this time and he's in my car. I know this is embarrassing. I know. I just kind of like froze. Just focus on driving the car. Just drive the car. We're in the car. We're talking about all the things we want to do when we get back. Activities, fun, hoorah. Guys, when I really like someone, I am a completely different person. I get so fucking quiet. I don't know what to do with myself. I seize. I freeze. There's nothing. I just freeze up. There's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do. You'd have to literally fart in front of me to get me to just like relax a little bit. It was an amazing time. It really was. We wake up in the morning. It's amazing. It's this whole thing, right? We're having the best time. And then it's like lunchtime. I'm thinking to myself, I should probably go. So we say goodbye and I get in the car and I close the door and immediately I started hysterically crying. This is really what I want to get into. Like, yeah, we get it. You had a great time, but this is the juice here. This is the main course. All these things were hitting me at once. I was just spiraling because for starters, I think putting that much emotional energy into this like day of like finally getting to see him, the spray tan, the hair, the nails, like everything, the snacks, it just was like a lot. And then it was like a come down. So I think it was like a really high and then it's just like, I really struggle with the unknown. That's the bit I struggle with. Not knowing, where is this going? Like, what am I doing? Am I gonna get hurt? What the fuck happens next? That's the bit I seriously struggle with. It's the uncertainty. It's the unknown. It's like, you like this person now and you don't know what to do about it. There's nothing you could do or say. Somehow, some way, this is right when I've normally ruined things or when things have gone south. And I'm trying to like do all the spiritual woo-woo things of like, well, just have an impeccable self-concept and la la la, right? But my God, I can't deny that I'm experiencing this very human thing right now, and that I have in the past. And another piece of why I got so emotional the second I got in the car is like, I've been single for what feels like a really long time. And I haven't had a very traditional love life. There's things that happened in my love life that I'll never speak about on here. Let's just say that the cards that I was dealt wasn't necessarily the easiest hand. Yeah, it was really hard. A huge piece of like why I had gone so cold was because I just got hurt so many times. And granted, like, I know my part in those situations where I let myself get hurt. Being single has its perks. You know, you have like this freedom and you get to know yourself and fall in love with yourself. But like, fuck, it's okay not to like being single all of the time. I really don't like being around people. I very rarely can spend more than like 4 hours with somebody. So when I meet somebody that I don't want to stop hanging out with, that for me is magic. Like, you'd have to imagine that I'm feeling electric with this whole manifestation thing and the whole like dating world. You feel kind of helpless because at the end of the day, there really isn't much you can do. You could do your manifestation techniques to manifest love and manifest a relationship, but at the end of the day, if it's meant to be, it'll be. So who knows? When you have emotions involved, it's okay for that to be scary. And for me right now, it's terrifying. I think what I crave is control over my life. For so long, I felt like I had no control over my life and things were happening in my life that felt so far out of my control and borderline unfair, you know, like the whole pity party thing. That's why I gravitate towards the manifestation stuff. No tarot reading, no technique can kind of like steer this ship. It's gonna happen exactly as it was meant to happen. And I know I have control over how I show up. I told you, I have to be honest here. This is just where I struggle. It's tough being single. It is. Like, who are we kidding? Like, it's so amazing waking up next to somebody. I think when you've spent as much time as I have alone, those moments where you get to like have a meal with somebody or even brush your teeth next to somebody or go grocery shopping with them, like those moments then feel so much more magical because you're just like alone all the time. And it's not about Brooklyn. It is not about Brooklyn. It's about being single, navigating the challenges of dating, the very normal fears that come up when you're trying to like navigate the dating world. And yeah, this thing might work out, it might not. And that's okay. I don't care for the relationship. I don't care for the label. What's 10 times more valuable to me is finding a connection with somebody, because at the end of the day, if you have a connection with somebody and it's genuine and it's unconditional, the labels, the bullshit wouldn't matter. It just wouldn't matter. God damn. It was really important for me to talk about this because I know I portray to be this ice cold whatever, but I'm human and I think I put on that tough exterior to almost convince myself that I don't want love and that it's fine like if it doesn't happen. But then yeah, like reality sets in and sometimes it hits you really fucking hard, and that's exactly what happened the moment I got in the car. Not about Brooklyn, just about like this whole thing of my journey. I became so nostalgic. I started thinking about like how I got to this point. And oh my God, it crushes me to think about some of the shit that happened. It crushes me. My mom pointed out the other week, she was like, I think you're spending too much time alone because you just like laugh to yourself and nobody told a joke. So there's no way the universe's plan for me is to acquire 8 more cats and like die alone. There's just no way. I know that when the time is right, it will happen and I will find love. Now, getting into today's fucking episode. Holy cow. It's about self-concept because this goes so hand in hand with everything I just quite literally cried about. You can't always be perfect. And that's why I wanted to tell you guys the update in the beginning so that you could kind of see like it's okay to feel bad, but to also understand and apply these concepts. So self-concept is something that is so often misunderstood. It's not about just looking in the mirror and thinking you're hot. It's not that simple or surface level. It's much deeper than that. It's your ability and your trust in yourself and the universe. Knowing that you are the creator of your reality. It's your beliefs and your ability to achieve great things. How you align your beliefs with your actions. Your self-concept is pretty much everything to do with the self. Head to toe, inside out. This is gonna be a bitch to edit. I'm just telling you that right now. Why self-concept is so important is because, again, I've said it 1,200 times. We don't manifest what we want, we manifest what we are. You can't let the 3D affect you. And if you have an impeccable self-concept, and I mean a top tier self-concept, it wouldn't matter. But again, like I know I was just sobbing over my love life. But what's arguably most important about your self-concept is self-compassion, self-love. You loving yourself. Let's say you have a bad day. Let's say you're crying over somebody. Let's say you're crying over your situation. Having an impeccable self-concept would mean that you're there for you. You're not yelling at yourself like, why are you crying over something so stupid? No. You've got to be the one that turns to yourself in those moments and says, it's okay. I've got you. You're safe. Let it out. Cry. Let's go get some ice cream. That's how you've got to talk to yourself. Another way to put self-concept is like, how would you talk to your best friend? Or how would you talk to your younger self, like a child version of you? How would you talk to a child in general? You wouldn't turn to the child or your best friend and be like, you're a piece of shit. That's self-concept. That's a huge part of self-concept. So yeah, it's knowing that nobody compares to you. It's knowing that you are fucking magnetic. You can manifest whatever the fuck you want. You're irresistible. You're unstoppable. You are limitless. You are the creator of your reality. Nothing in your 3D affects you. You put yourself on the pedestal. You trust yourself and the universe and you love yourself, right? But it's also, I'm there for you. I'm here for you. That was one of the most profound pieces about self-concept that I learned this year. Way back in the day, I used to think it was about just believing that you're hot. And then I learned that it was about, no, like it's the beliefs about myself, the subconscious beliefs about myself that I have. And then fast forward more recently, within the last year, I learned that it's about how I treat myself. I never really understood what self-love was. I'm not sure if I told you this, but I got in a fight with my therapist on Valentine's Day a few years back because she was like, well, you don't need anybody today, just like self-love, woo. You know, like I was like, fuck off, lady. How can I give myself self-love? Like it's like, how am I giving this to myself? There's something to be said about getting love from another person and having a connection physically and emotionally with another person. You could give yourself what it is you're looking for. So for example, if you're looking for physical touch, go get a fucking massage. That changed my life. And I find myself thinking in that way now. So when I'm like, damn, this love thing, it's so far outside of me. It's this thing that I can only experience with someone else. When I catch myself thinking like that, I'm like, okay, what is it that I want right now? Is it that I want to feel validated? How can I validate myself right now? Chosen. How can I choose myself right now? You get it? What's so amazing about self-concept is whatever you're doing to yourself, for yourself, believing about yourself is exactly what the universe is gonna boomerang back to you. When you sit so firm and tall in your own power, it's quantum physics, people. Like people gravitate towards you. You literally collapse time and space between you and your desires because it's magnetic. I gave this example ages ago, but I'm gonna bring it back, okay? Because it was a year ago and it's still a good one. You've gotta be a lighthouse, shining your light from within out. If you're a lighthouse and you leave your post and you start running after things, being insecure, chasing outside of your post, where the fuck are the boats going to go? They're going to have no idea where they're going. They need your light. They need to know how to come to shore. When you stand firm, just owning your self-concept, all of the boats, the manifestations you're looking for will come. A lot of coaches will tell you you could work on your self-concept and your self-concept alone and not focus on anything else. That would be enough for all of your manifestations to manifest. Seriously, you wouldn't need to do a goddamn thing. The power's within you. And it's always been within you. You could identify what limiting beliefs you have. Write it out. Write out what are your current thoughts about yourself. Break it up into 4 categories: love, family and friends, health, body, whatever, and like finances. Make 4 buckets. Purge it out. All of the negative beliefs you have. And then rewrite them. And that new script, that new list, that new way of thinking is what you're going to embody. Repetition. There's also the obsessed test. I've heard about this obsessed test on the TikTok. It's basically about if you can't list out at least a full page of reasons why someone should be obsessed with you, like I am so beautiful, my hair is so silky and perfect and healthy, my eyes are captivating, my smile is just amazing, it lights up every room, like, you know what I mean? If you can't write a full list reasons why people should be obsessed with you, then nobody will be. That is so about self-concept, you have no idea. I worked with a manifestation coach once who made me write 5 full pages of things that I love about myself. 5 pages. And if you're uncomfortable doing that, gosh, I'd say your self-concept's not where it needs to be. So write 5 pages of things that you love about yourself. Do you prioritize yourself? Do you choose yourself? One of the biggest things I struggled with self-concept was being chosen, like feeling chosen. I am chosen. I kept feeling like I wasn't being chosen. Part of I am chosen is choosing myself. My actions have to line up with that. So like, for example, if I've committed to doing something for myself and then somebody texts me asking for help or wanting to do something, wanting to go out, whatever, am I going to abandon myself, the thing that I committed to doing for me, and go do this thing? Or am I going to honor my commitment, right? And I noticed that I kept saying I am chosen, but then doing something in line with that. And that's where I was like, well, of course I'm not chosen because my actions are not aligning with it. Self-concept is really the root of it. If you're really struggling to figure out what it feels like to have an impeccable self-concept, pick any celebrity or person in your life that you think has an impeccable self-concept and embody their energy. Shifting your self-concept is not something that has to take months or a year. It's as simple as changing the channel. Imagine the television, okay? There's an infinite number of different channels running right now. At any moment, you could just change the channel. I think about self-concept as changing the channel. When I notice that I'm beating myself up or whatever, I'm like, whoa, let's change the fucking channel here. Okay, enough of this show. I don't want any part in this show. Instantaneously, quantum leaping, bam, making a decision to just shift into the version of you that is confident, that feels good, that knows that you have so much power within you to create whatever it is that you want, that you are loved, you're chosen, you're prioritized, you're chased, you are irresistible, and nobody fucking compares to you. It doesn't have to be this long, drawn-out thing. Try to embody it instantaneously, and you'll waver. We all fucking waver. I wavered about, 30 minutes ago. But if you linger there, you don't want to linger. Shift back into the state where you feel really fucking good about you and you're there for you and you love you. Self-concept, baby. And through repetition, of course, you'll eventually just seamlessly and naturally embody it. It won't feel like something you have to force. Make the decision now to make this shift immediate. Oh, what an episode. I'm good. I know I was just fucking sobbing in this episode, but I am good. In the title, I say psycho and psychic. We're both. I know it's gonna work out. I know it. I have nothing to worry about. Sometimes I just gotta let myself feel the feels. And it'd be concerning If I wasn't feeling the feels, then it'd be sociopathic. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below. You never do. Sometimes you do if you've got like your 2 cents you want to give. Thank you guys, and I love you. Bye.